And that allowed us to lean on different parts of the business and use them to their advantage, and kind of, as we were saying, you know, like about building a creative studio and why that's important. This was the case study. It was point in case why those things were important. And really, technology is the backbone of that. We wouldn't be able to do it if we weren't put together in the way we were by people like Josh and by Amazon Web Services to kind of help us do all that stuff. So that's why it was important.
I love it. Those are music to my ears. All right, so let's do this. I know we have the Untold sizzle we want to show, but I feel like we're on the A$AP Rocky bit right now.
Yeah, you should show the trailer.
Let's show the experience itself, right? So how did you use your distributed team to effect? How did you use the technology to effect? And then tell us a little bit about Rocky's response. So Annie, you first, then Josh.
Should I start?
Yeah, do that.
I shall start. That trailer is a really, really, really good example of us using the best parts of both of our teams. So the design was done in London, the edit was done in New York, the VFX took place in New York, and there was a really, really amazing pipeline process backed by AWS through VFX and the edit team. So we onboarded the edit team from Amazon Music, who came in and set up as part of the Untold kind of post-production process and pipeline, which allowed for us to slot in scenes as we built them, essentially straight into the edit timeline. And the reason why that was so important is from the last day of the shoot to the day of broadcast, we had 7 days. And 2 of those were a weekend.
It was mental.
It was nuts.
And the holiday, I heard. There
Yeah,
was
it
a
was
holiday
nuts.
in there somewhere.
It was nuts. But the reason why we couldn't change the date was because it was Yams Day, and obviously A$AP being part of A$AP Mob and Yams being so important within that was that we knew we had to hit this day. So we worked with AWS, we worked with Amazon Music, we worked with Untold, we worked with at Prime, really, to like really get everything out in a way that meant that everybody got what they needed. You know, I think there was over 50 deliverables, and we were working 3 time zones with over 30 people on it full time for 7 days. So it was heavy, but it was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think it permeated culture, and again, to a point of like going deeper and the detail of like Yams Day and how we integrated things that his fans and those lovers of A$AP Mob and the fashionista sector, etc., would know. And if they only knew, we cared a lot about that because we knew that stuff would travel across his fans and hit millions and millions of views.
We started on the VFX before we started the production.
So that was my next question.
Yeah.
And so maybe tell us a little bit about that. And Josh, I'd love to hear from you. Like, tell us about, you know, in a traditional studio, maybe tell us how that process would have gone, but in your studio, how it went.
Yeah, so as you guys are all talking about how stressful and timed and sensitive everything was, for us, technology side, it was great. It was fine. We plugged you guys into Untold, to the rest of the studio, and yeah, kind of everything from our side moved as it should. I think really from an old school traditional VFX post sort of pipeline, you wouldn't have been able to do it at that time. I think for us, as soon as you do one upload, you upload to the cloud, it stays in the cloud. That's it.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
And I think, I mean, this team's incredible. They're like my ride or dies since like the 2nd episode of Songline. But, you know, we recorded the music. Danny Elfman recorded a 18-piece orchestra in Australia before we even set up on June 7th or 8th or 9th or whatever that was to start filming the visual elements. A lot of the aesthetic and the look and feel of each scene were like presented and signed off by Rocky before cameras even started rolling. And I just thought that was an incredible part of this, and how we use mixed media and live and pre-record and making pre-record feel live and all that stuff felt really innovative to me.